Hey guys, this is John, and guess what? It is Rivals time. That's right, Danny Rensch and I are back. It is January 2016. We haven't had a Rivals yet this year, and actually for the past couple months we have not had a Rivals, but we got together today and it's going down. So we're playing a first to 4 points match on chess.com, of course, and draws do count. So whoever hits that 4 points first is the winner. So let's see what Danny does against this Kali system. Goes for a quick d5. All right, so he's showing that he's not afraid to occupy the center ASAP. I'm going to play as Kremnik did recently in a game against Topalov with this quick queen g4 idea. So I'm going to try to bring the queen out right here if I get the chance. Yeah, I had a game against Daniel Gurovich, who's a talented young IM from here in the States. And we had this same position, although he played knight f6. Against bishop f6, what to do? Maybe knight e4? Knight e4 seems logical. I could play something more aggressive, but I like the look of this a lot. So let's go for that. And of course, if he takes, I'm going to take with the e-pawn, with the d-pawn, and then I'll have good control over f6 is what I'm hoping. That dark square bishop could be a valuable defender of black's king, so I think it makes sense for me to at least try to get rid of it at some stage. Okay, maybe queen g3 now. This looks like a good prophylactic move to help defend e5. I'd love to play knight takes d7, queen takes d7, knight takes f6, but with the knight on d5, he can always recapture with that piece. So if this knight moves, though, maybe that tactic will be on. I feel like this layout never fully captures my face. That's one slight problem. This layout or template that Danny and I use for these chess rivals sometimes doesn't work that way. Okay, so he's actually allowing me to play knight takes d7. That just wins a piece, does it not? Just double checking. But yeah, I think this wins material. Because he can't take, he just loses on the spot to knight takes f6. I guess he has bishop h4. That would be a very lucky save if it worked. Bishop h4, wow. And then if queen h3, knight takes d3. I feel like he kind of backed into this, but it might work out, actually. So if I play queen d6, he takes d3. Then I take on f8 check, let's say. Queen takes, knight takes. He can take either of my knights, but I'm able to save. Is that the best I have, though? I feel like I should have something better. I just feel that way. Now, let's go for this. Remember, this is no increment. It's 3 plus 0. No increment in the mix whatsoever, so we got to make quick decisions. That's one of the nastier feelings in chess, when you feel like you're just going to win the game on the spot, and then your opponent comes up with something like improbable to save it. Yeah, like bishop e7. Not a move I saw coming either. It might work. What if I go here, check? Could that work? So knight check, pawn takes, check again. Take f8 at the end. Ooh, that's complicated. I think that might win material. So if I give a check here, he takes with the pawn, and then queen to g3 check, king h8, knight takes f8. Yeah, looks to be winning. Okay, less than a minute left, so I got to go for this. This is getting weird, isn't it? So I'm trying to win the exchange with this whole operation. He may have a strong light square bishop at the end. Okay, I can take here, but he takes d7. So I'll take here instead? I think so. Let's hurry. I've got 36 seconds left. So time to hustle, right? Okay, let's go here. If he takes with the knight, I have rook takes d4, which is nice. Probably bishop e4 is basically forced, or that move. Okay, so let's come here. Just looking to trade down. 30 seconds left, though. If he takes on b2, I got to play rook b1. I'm pre-moving this move. He's taking some time, which I like. Okay, he does do that. Okay, let's take here. So if he takes, I have knight f6 at the end. We're both going to be hustling now. Let's try to get this up here. And then maybe circle this guy around. He can kind of pin us, though. Well, he had bishop a4, but he didn't notice. I'm going to go after b6, like so. Okay, check. Danny is undeniably faster than me. Oh boy. Oh, he blundered though. Oh, and we went on time. All right, so we get the time victory in a sloppy scramble there at the end. I don't know what was going on tactically in that one. That was weird, right? So it appears like knight b4 was just a blunder, because if knight takes d7, I'm thinking I'm just winning a piece. Queen takes d7, knight takes f6, GG, Danny's down 1-0. But then he comes up with bishop h4, which is forced. Now that's a move I would definitely see in a longer game, but in a blitz game, it's kind of like comes out of nowhere. And then he just opts to try to repeat the position. Bishop back to e7. And I went for this because I was trying to avoid queen g3, bishop h4. But was this working out for me? I don't know. He got some play. And he actually got 2 pawns plus a piece for the rook. So tough to say what was happening there. All right, so he is opening with d4. Okay, let's play a little modern action, g6. Danny's not a native d4 player, so let's do something a little flanky against him. This plan of a6 and b5. I've actually had success with him in chess rivals with this whole setup. So I'm hoping that that continues here. Let's play for c5 and open the position. He's not having any of my modern setup. He's just playing quickly and he's not giving in. I guess he can play for e5, but I'm just going to castle for now. Maybe going for e5 now is not a bad idea for me. I think we're going to be both more aware, conscious of the time, because that last game was played pretty slowly by both of us. Okay, let's come here. Just getting out of the pin. This actually has some kind of tones of a Chigorin, like Roy Lopez. Some sort of closed Roy Lopez, just based on the pawn structure. All right, so b4 could be kind of tender. I think I should take here and then try to play for knight c5. I do like this pawn structure. This pawn on c4 is nice, and I get my knight in behind it. He may have some difficulties attacking me, although I wouldn't put it past Danny to play something radical like h4 coming up. That's fully in keeping with his style. This move looks kind of annoying, but maybe I can deal with it. So if knight f5, I can just take on h6. I don't see anything truly devastating here. But he's trying to set up bishop takes g7, king takes g7, knight f5, something like that. But with my knight on f6 secure, I think I can defend. And now I prepare something like knight e8 or knight d7 might be better. I would love to trade queens here because I have a structural advantage on the queen side. So if I trade queens and remove the danger to my king, I'm liking my chances a lot. Three plus 0 is such a different animal than 3 plus 1. I've said this before, but that extra second, or if you're playing 3 plus 2, that extra 2 seconds makes a huge difference. Okay, I could also play knight e8 if I want to look for a trade right away. Is that worth thinking about? Nah, I should probably just take on h6. Yeah, let's play it this way. And then go king here. f6 is secure, no worries there. Okay, so he is going for that. Taking on e4 doesn't appear to work. I could play knight g8 and look to swap. Knight h5 is another swappy move. And he's not really threatening much, but I want to simplify if I can. And I think knight g8 might be the way to go. Yeah, let's look for a trade via this move. And he's going to drop the queen back, and then I'm going to take h6 and then play queen f6. So that's the plan. And if knight g5, I have queen g7 simply defending. So everything looks hunky-dory. Okay, let's reroute this bishop. Oh, we can't do that. Queen takes f8 is checkmate. Let's not reroute the bishop. Let's offer a queen trade first. He's coming back. Okay, f5. Try to destroy his pawn structure. This looks pretty good, actually. I can take d5 now. That would be quite interesting. I can also play just the recapture. Maybe that's even better. Let's take this way, though. Keep our structure intact. He's got a time edge, mind you. 1 minute to 125. D5 is a little tricky to defend, though. Maybe I can play my knight into d3. That would be kind of interesting. First, I just want to defend this guy, though. Is knight takes e5 a problem? Could be. Very well might be. I'm going to do this, and then if he takes e5, I'm going to take on d5, actually. If he gets fancy there. Gotta hurry. 44 seconds. He does that instead. Okay, so let's take. Rook d1 probably coming. Then I was thinking knight d3 or maybe some other move. I'm just going to go there. Okay. Well, let's play e4. Now I might be able to get like a super knight into d3. Very well protected. h6. Just pin him. Where are you going, Danny? Back to f4 with you. Okay, play this knight in. This is always going to be the answer. 28 seconds to 30 some. I look forward to having a couple really strong passed pawns if I can. His knight is hanging. Okay, let's take this guy. Let's back this up. First of all, I'm going to come after that c3 pawn. I'm going to let him win d6 if he wants. Don't care about that pawn in the slightest. He has a little blockade going on, there's no doubt. But for the moment, I like my chances. Let's do this. I'm going to take here, actually. Let's just see what he comes up with against that. We'll guard here. Let's take that guy. He's rolling out. He's going to try to checkmate me or something. Let's go here. I mean, his position looks like it's on the verge of collapse. But I don't know how to put him away. He's going to give some checks. Oh, boy. Checkmate. Okay, so we get the mate with 3.2 to 1.3. Wild game there at the end. I figured I was probably in a winning endgame as soon as the queens came off the board. I mean, I'm up a pawn, plus he's got some stuff to deal with as far as, like, this dangerous d-pawn. But that wasn't simple, you know? When push came to shove, he has kind of a dark square blockade here, and I did drop the h-pawn. I guess I could play it safe and play, like, king g7 right here and simply guard, but I decided to pitch it and play for activity. But that was sharp. Like, he might have had something. Like, in fact, did he ever have... Like, right here, he almost can play rook check, king h8, knight g6, but he is pinned. His knight is pinned. Okay, so just waiting his challenge on the next game. Looks like the modern experiment did work out in that one. Playing this whole setup with d6, a6, b5. I played a very interesting standard game in this same line from the white side, actually, against a guy named Rabore. So I have some experience in that line. Let's see. Where is Danny? Where did he go? Just waiting for him to rematch me. I think that was it. Maybe not. Strange. One moment. Technical difficulties. All right, I sent him a challenge. Now we're chatting. Just a second. Oh, he's asking if we're analyzing or playing. Okay, here we go. So, 2-0. I'm going to play knight f3 in this game. I played d4 in the first one. I think that went well, but I just want to mix it up a little bit. And I've been playing a lot of this system in recent months. Knight f3 followed by g3 and the fianchetto of the light square bishop. So why not continue the trend and continue playing this stuff? Okay, let's go for c4 and try to open the center a bit. I'll take here, and then I'll play the knight to c3 on the next move. This is a setup you often get in this line where white has e and d pawns against black's single d pawn. And he plays bishop c5. Yeah, this is one way people play this line. Let's go here and try to tickle the b pawn, as Danny would say. Play a little tickle. And he plays b5. I don't know about that move. Somehow that move seems sketchy to me. Let's see if I can punish it. I'm just going to try to take him in the center. If he takes, I'll take with a pawn, and I like my pawn majority that I have. Queen b6 would have been more normal, whereupon I would have retreated the queen to c2, actually. So he's going to roll like this, though. Probably he'll just castle now. Maybe e5. e5 he can take here, however. Maybe just bishop f4. Looks like a good developing move. Stops queen c7. He might decide to put his queen on b6. But I gotta believe e5, maybe even followed by knight into e4 is worth something. Could also just play h3. Now let's play forcefully, though. Let's try to capitalize. So if he plays knight h5, I'm going to play knight e4. That's the plan. Two-point lead. I think I can afford to take a couple risks here and try to put him under pressure, basically. Knight g5 looks attractive right here. Just going after the king. Let us do it. Probably g6 has to be played. And then I can take d5, or I can think about other moves too. I'm on the attack. I could take, play something like bishop h3, but I don't know if I want to open the f file. Let's just take here and play against that d pawn. That looks like the most prudent thing to do. Yeah, we'll just come here. f2 is well guarded. d5, on the other hand, for him, looks incredibly loose. I don't know how he's going to defend that pawn. If he plays h6, I can do, at the very least, just knight takes e6. And if he takes with the f pawn, queen takes g6 is crashing through. So he's in trouble here, I believe. He might throw in like rook c8, but actually I think I can just take here because there's no threat on f2. Maybe his idea is bishop h3, but I just take it. So let's not be afraid. Gotta trust yourself in chess. I think I can get away with taking that because f2 is guarded. So yeah, he plays bishop there, but I think just queen e4 now should take care of business. If knight c5, I take d4. So I don't see any issues. Let's just pre-move. Well, actually, no. Maybe I won't pre-move that because maybe I want to play queen takes d4 if he takes on d5. Probably taking here is good, though, because then his knight and his bishop will be under attack. He's going to do that, but that just drops a piece. No, it doesn't. Take, he has knight c5, but I can take on f7 and then play like queen d5. So that's got to be good. Let's do that. Oh, I can also just play queen back to e2. And that's a loose bishop on b2. So let's go here. Bishop's under attack. I think that's the simplest solution. Yeah, too many loose pieces for Danny. That game did not go well for him. I mean, he might continue, but I don't see he's any way that he's getting anything remotely okay here. It's just a straight piece. Shout out to Starbucks, as usual, keeping me caffeinated this early. All right, so I'm up 3-0. I'm going to go to the bread and butter. We're going to try to close this out with a Scandi, a queen d8 Scandi, which I have been working on a repertoire for this new venture I'm involved in called Chessable, and you'll be hearing more about that coming up very soon. but I'm working on a repertoire. I've been studying these lines a lot. Knight e2 is interesting. I'm going to play b5 and just attack his bishop. So let's actually come here and prepare c5. I could have played c5 on the previous move, but I don't think it's necessary. Yeah, so now c5 just looks to be good, I think. Because he probably wants to trade, otherwise there is pawn c4 coming up. So let's just swap and then I'll take here. These endgames are usually fine for black. Granted, in this case, white has managed to castle, so perhaps I should have played c5 on the previous move, but I still think this endgame is pretty good. I could play knight g4 and get mated with rook d8. That's not a good plan. Let's play knight d7 and just cover f6. It's important that I keep a knight out of e4 if I can. I don't want him jumping here and attacking my bishop and also probing the d6 square. It is kind of nice when you have a lead like this that you don't have to worry about giving up a draw or something. Okay, so again, along the same lines, I'm going to do this and try to control e4. So a draw just gives me another half point, so I don't think it's that bad. I'm surprised he's doing this. I'm looking for tactics on f2. Like, actually here I could play knight g4, and he'd be forced to play rook f1 from the looks of it. Bishop takes f2 is not working, but this move just looks pretty good. It's going to force him to make some passive move. Maybe I'll even wind up castling queenside. Like, say he plays rook f1, I can go h6, drive this bishop away. On knight d4, I did not see. Does that even work, though? I mean, I have e5 here. e5 or take and then e5, but e5 straight away looks, I mean, definitely the most testing. However, it's kind of unclear. I don't know about the consequences of that. e5, knight f5. I take f2 with check, king h1. d6 is very loose, though, is the problem. I might just want to castle here or play some other move to safeguard. That sort of feels like a, I don't know, like the wrong decision, however. Oh, e5, knight f5. What's going on there? Knight takes f2, knight d6 check. Bishop takes, rook takes, knight back to g4. Bishop takes f7. There's all these tactics. So many tactics. Okay, maybe h6 first. Let's play h6 first and just ask his bishop what it's doing out there on g5. Possibly that could change things a bit, because he actually might have to go all the way back to c1. Or to e3, whereupon I can take it and then maybe just castle queenside. That looks actually really good. So it took me a while to find this move, but I think it's a good one. Unless he can do something really brute force like take on e6, but I doubt it. I don't think that move is working. Yeah, so he's just going to play it safe. Now we're going to do this, and I'm looking forward to the future with confidence here. We've got the two bishops. We have a better pawn structure. Let's put the knight on e5. He can't go to e4, mind you, because our bishop covers that square. So yeah, he needs to play something like that. Maybe h5. Now let's just get out of the way with our king. Possibly I have something more aggressive than this. Let's go h5. Maybe I can play like rook up and into the game. Okay, well, let's take here first of all. And then I'm going to go rook here. Maybe introduce rook f6 as a plan. I think his king is feeling a little uncomfortable. Also maybe rook g6 and attack this pawn. That could be a very real plan too. I believe he's got to play knight e2 sometime quite soon. Okay, check and then rook g6. How about that? I'm not really worried about this bishop being under attack, am I? Now, if king f2, I have h4. Okay, so this looks good. Knight e4, I think I can just take it. I think. Bishop c2, bishop back to b7. I don't know. Maybe I should have hid my king first. I'm not sure. All right, so he's going to do this and let us take with check. Let's come here. I mean, this looks really bad for him. g5. Just chasing. h3 could be hanging at any moment. Check out that time, though. That time is a big concern. We win his rook, though. He does have knight c6 at the end of this line, but that's not going to do us any damage. Okay, let's just hide the king and not lose on time. How about that? e5, he's going to lose the knight now. Bring this back. Oh, don't do that, John. Let's just break through. Go for the win straight away. We're just going to trade down. Go for this. Play for checkmate, right? All right, we got the mate. Okay, so we close it out with the victory. Team Scandy takes the match. And I'm sorry to say, Danny, this one was a rout. 4-0. Yeah, I mean, everything seemed to be going in my way in this match. The tactics were working. I think I got good positions to work with out of the opening. This game was interesting. But I get the sense that White never got the position that he was looking for out of the opening. Like, after knight g4, White's already on their back foot, and knight d4 sort of confused the issue in that e5, knight f5 looked complicated. But after I found this h6 move, driving away the bishop, I don't think White has much because the bishop doesn't have a great square. If bishop h4, there's g5 trapping it. If bishop f4, then e5 is even stronger because it forks two pieces. Bishop d2 would interfere with the rook guarding the knight, so that leaves bishop e3 and bishop c1, neither of which is that great. So he played bishop e3, but then I simply swapped, and I think black has a tremendous advantage here. So, somewhat of an off day for Danny. He is definitely stronger than what the score indicates in this case. But that's why Chess Rivals is fun, because we play a lot, and you never know what you're going to get on a given day. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this match. You can look forward to more Chess Rivals with me and Danny now that I especially am home. I basically haven't been able to record too many extra videos over the past couple months because I've been traveling so much. But I'm back in lovely Minnesota. It's winter here. It's below zero. I'm going to be staying inside and working on chess stuff, teaching, doing Chessable, all that good stuff. So, anyways, thanks again for watching, guys. Team Scandy, as always, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you again soon. All right, bye.